What's up, everyone? So as most of you know, I'm constantly traveling, especially being a YouTuber. I'm constantly bouncing around and filming tons of different videos. And now, obviously, when I'm traveling, I'm staying in a hotel. Hence, actually, what I'm doing right now, I'm actually in Denver, Colorado, staying here. And over time of traveling for years, I've learned super unique hotel room hacks, tips, and tricks. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my 10 favorite hotel hacks that you probably didn't know. Number 1, negotiate. Now, 99.9% of the time, every single hotel room price is actually negotiable. So if let's say you get to a hotel and most of the time, being honest, it's never completely full. If you say, hey, it's 8 p.m. at night, I just got here, you probably have a ton of open rooms. Is there any way you could just kind of negotiate on the price? Here's my budget, what can you do for me? Now, one thing I really have to stress is, look, being nice and being genuine is the best way to go, in addition to just asking. The worst that happens is they say, sorry, we actually are pretty booked up right now. The price that you're seeing is the absolute lowest I can go, but hey, why not ask anyway? I promise you that for a lot of hotels, especially let's say in a remote area, or let's say it's not like a peak season of people staying there, if you think about it, for a random night, if they have 30 open rooms, they're way better off getting 40 or 50 bucks for a room than absolutely nothing at all. So always negotiate and try to get the price as low as you can. And while doing so, always be super nice and genuine. Because remember, the nicer you are, the more just genuine you are to people and treat them like actual human beings, the more considerate they're gonna be and the more they're gonna try to help you out to get the best price. Number 2, check online. So going hand in hand with the first thing that I said when it comes to negotiating, a lot of times the front desk employee can only bring the price to a certain point. At this point now, I always suggest to check online for two main reasons. One is a lot of times online, you can get a way lower quote depending on the night, depending on a bunch of different factors, but also two, some hotels will actually price match. So for example, for this hotel, for the one I'm staying at right now, I actually called in, this is actually my personal technique, I will sit in my car and I'll check online for the lowest possible quote I can. So I'll check online first. And for this specific hotel, I saw it was $70 with taxes and fees included. So then I called here and negotiated with the front desk employee over the phone. The lowest they could possibly go was $80. So I was like, okay, honestly, they can only go to $80, but obviously online I can book it for $70 with all the taxes and fees included. I'll just book it online. Or you can even come in person and say, hey, I know you said that $80 is the lowest you can go, but I actually have this pulled up online on booking.com, hotels.com, whatever the site is, and it's saying it's only going to be $70. Is there any way you can price match that? And a lot of times they will. Number 3, a AAA card. Now, having a AAA card is honestly one of the best traveling hacks or traveling tips in general. So just make sure you get one, being honest. It's just a super useful thing to have, especially for roadside assistance and everything that come into play with traveling. And one of the best benefits of a AAA card is getting hotel discounts. So any single time you're negotiating, always bring up the AAA card. So kind of combining these 3 first hacks I'm talking about, get the price quote online, try to find the cheapest thing you can, then call in, try to get as low as possible and say, oh, by the way, I know that you said that the lowest you go is $50, but I actually have a AAA card. Could that go even lower with the AAA card discount? Number 4, late checkout and early check-in. Now, I feel like late checkout is a very common hotel thing that everybody knows about. You can call in, like say if you're supposed to check out at 11, you can call the front desk even the night beforehand and say, hey, is there any way I can just get like an extra hour of a late checkout? And most hotels will do it completely for free. So instead of checking out at 11, you can check out at noon, for example. However, what most people don't know is that this also applies to early check-in. So for example, here, I actually checked in at 12:30. Now, every sign in this hotel says check-in at 3 p.m., super strict. But I remember I called in and said, hey, I'm actually traveling right now. I just got in the area. I know it's 12:30. I know it's super early. Is there any way I can check in or any rooms available? And the front desk employee was like, yeah, absolutely. And I got this completely for free. So if you think about it, checking in about 3 hours early, plus checking out an hour late, you're almost getting 4 hours extra of hotel time, which is super useful. So especially when traveling, I've known a lot of people who are like, I want to check in, but it's only 1 o'clock. I don't know. Always call in, because the worst that happens is they say, sorry, we actually are pretty booked. You can only check in at 3 because, hey, similar to what happened for me today, I literally came here at 12:30. They said, hey, there's a room available. I checked in. Good to go. Number 5, get those points. Honestly, just sign up with the rewards program. Just do it. It's completely free for almost every hotel chain out there and even some sites as well. For example, for hotels.com, if you book 10 hotel rooms, you get 1 for free. So it's like buy 10, get 1 free. When you don't get those points, you're really just leaving money completely on the table that could be used for other things while traveling. And honestly, like I said too, it's not like a lot of these rewards programs cost money. You just sign up for free any single time you're staying at that one specific hotel chain. Just put down your membership card, your membership number, whatever the case is. Or let's say if you're doing something through hotels.com or any other site, just get the points and get the rewards. They're free. Number 6, tip and ask. Now, similar to what I said before about negotiating, you can also negotiate the room that you're getting. And one of the best ways to do this is tipping. So I've even heard of people, let's say, going to Vegas, they, have their hotel room ready to go, and when they get to the front desk, they even slide like a $5 bill and say, hey, is there any way you could just put me in the best room possible? I really want to see the sunrise or the sunset, or I want to have this view of, let's say, the Las Vegas Strip, for example. And I've even heard of people getting upgraded from a normal hotel room to a massive suite, literally because they just gave a $5 tip and said, hey, is there any way you could just upgrade me? And for the person behind the desk, they're like, well, it's 8 p.m. at night. We have 10 suites open. They're definitely not all going to get booked. Why not? It's at no extra cost to them. So a big thing to do after negotiating the price is always try to negotiate the hotel room itself. So for me, I actually negotiated this room itself. I wanted to be in a place that was quiet, that I could actually film videos, that hopefully I wasn't disturbing anybody in the hotel. Not gonna lie, the view isn't that good, but there's no view of anywhere in this hotel that's actually good. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of in a spot between Boulder and Denver, Colorado. So kind of close to Denver, but about 20 minutes away. When it comes to getting a hotel room in a place where there's gonna be amazing views for some of the rooms, always ask, always negotiate, and hey, cash is always king, so handing them a 5 or 10 or 20 or whatever the case is can go a long way. Another thing I will say on this as a quick kind of side note or like a mini pro tip inside of this is never ever accept the upgrade. So when you're traveling, sometimes a front desk employee will be like, hey, I know you have this room, but for $20 extra, we could put you in this upgraded room. Never do it because 1, the upgrades, usually they'll just give you for free, but 2, not always, but typically that means that that type of room that you booked, they're actually completely booked out of. Because in case you didn't know, a lot of hotels assume some people aren't gonna show up, similar to like an airline or an airplane. So sometimes they'll actually be completely overbooked. And unfortunately, everyone books a hotel room, so now they have to kind of put people in different areas. So let's say if they say, hey, do you want to upgrade for $20 extra? Always say no, because a lot of times they'll be like, shoot, that room that you booked, actually we're completely booked, so we'll just give you the upgrade because we have to put you somewhere because you paid the money. In case you didn't know, if you pay money to stay at a hotel, they have to do whatever they can to give you a room. So if that means you get that upgrade completely for free, that's awesome. So never, ever, ever accept a paid upgrade. Number 7, never request service. Now, this is not necessarily like a hack, as more just like a big pro tip. If anything, the most important one on this list, if you're staying at a hotel for numerous different days in a row, obviously you might want room service. You might want somebody to come in the room and also make your bed and give you new towels and this kind of stuff. Never, ever, ever take that sign and put it on your door with the side that says service requested. The main reason why is this, not to be the bearer of bad news, but obviously as you can imagine, hotel theft is a thing and it exists. And people who do look at different hotel rooms purposely to steal out of will sometimes walk down the halls and just look for one of those signs, because basically what one of those signs is saying, indirectly saying, hey, I'm not gonna be in my room today. Anyone wanna come in? Go for it. So any single time I'm staying at a hotel, even if it's only for just one night, I'll take that sign and put the do not disturb facing outwards. Now, let's say if you're staying for 5 or 6 days and you're like, okay, I just need one night of new sheets and new towels and stuff like that. Then what I'll do is take that sign off. So that way there's basically nothing on the door. So that way room service will still come in. I can also call sometimes the front desk. Like if I'm like, shoot, the bed's fine, the sheets are fine, I actually just need one new towel, just call the front desk or go down. Now, I'm not trying to scare anybody by this, of course, but I'm just trying to be realistic that yes, hotel theft does happen, whether it's by an employee here or not. So especially if you have valuables, always make sure to, one, like I said, do not have the service requested sign facing outwards. For me, I always purposely put the do not disturb sign facing outwards. That's completely up to you. But also, 2, if you do need anything for your room and you do, let's say, want some room service, just take that sign off your door and call the front desk, and then you'll be good to go. Number 8. Ask for a charger. Now, I'm assuming if you're traveling and you're in a hotel room that you probably have your smartphone charger, whether it's an iPhone charger or Android or whatever the case is, so you should be all set. But let's say you have that dreaded moment where you look in your bag and you're like, shoot, oh my God, I don't have my charger. My phone's about to die. Call the front desk. You'll be surprised how many people actually leave their chargers in their hotel room and just say, hey, I just want to borrow an iPhone charger. I don't know if you have one at the front desk or an Android charger or whatever the case is. And you'll be surprised how many hotels will just have a bunch of them at the front desk that people left, and you can just kind of loan one for the night. Another big pro tip on top of this, just check your room and double check every little nook and cranny before you leave. I know it's kind of like hotel room 101 or even like common sense 101, but just do it because you'd be surprised how much stuff is left in a hotel room after people leave. Number 9, bring a streaming device. Now what I mean is something along the lines of like Google Chromecast, the Roku, the Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV. There's like a bunch of them, and the main reason why is you can easily hook it up to your TV just using a very simple HDMI cord. And for most of the TVs at a hotel room, they'll just have something where you just unplug it, plug your streaming device in, and that's pretty much it. And this is super easy to do. Like say if you want to watch Netflix or Hulu or whatever streaming platform you prefer, just bring the device anytime you're traveling, hook it up to your TV, and you can watch anything you want instantaneously. Number 10, the iron board table. This is a bit of a weird one. I use this one typically, like say if I'm in a hotel that doesn't have a lot of stuff, like this hotel I'm staying at is super nice, and also have this nice table, but a lot of times I'll be at a hotel that the table's like this big, and I can't even fit my computer on it, and I'm like, shoot, I just want maybe another table off to the side where I can put my notes, or whatever the case is. A lot of people forget that your iron board also can function as a really, really good table. So a lot of times I'll just set up my iron board next to me, or even use it as actually my computer desk. I can sit, do work, and use the ironing board as a makeshift table. Obviously, and I have to just say this, I would not suggest putting like food or drinks on it just in case it spills. That's the last thing that you want. But besides that, like say you want to have notes on it, if you want to have a computer, it's a very sturdy table that you can use for anything. And last, a bonus tip and bonus hotel room hack is order delivery. I honestly don't know why most people or more people don't do this. Like, especially like I said, there's been times where I'm in a hotel room with people and they're like, oh, I'm starving, but room service is like $30 for a sandwich. I always say, oh, just pull up DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates. Obviously, there's a bunch of different apps for it, because in case you didn't know, these delivery apps will deliver right to your hotel. And even more so, if you let the driver know and obviously always tip well, they sometimes can come directly to your hotel room door. So let's say if you're in that mood where you're like, look, I don't even want to go down to the lobby to get my food, just say to the driver like, hey, I'm actually located in room 310 or whatever your room is. Do you mind coming up here? I'll give you a good tip, because I promise you the food plus even like a very generous tip is gonna be significantly cheaper than room service. Another really cool pro tip about delivery that you might not even think about even more than food is actually alcohol. Now this depends state to state. Every state has different rules about alcohol delivery, but for example in California, obviously I live in LA, you can actually get alcohol delivered right to your door. Same thing at a hotel. So rather than like say going to the mini fridge where one beer could be like 10 or 15 bucks, whatever it is, and especially too with liquor being outrageously expensive at a hotel, pretty much any alcohol in any hotel room is always gonna be super overpriced. Just order delivery. I promise you it's gonna be significantly cheaper, and a lot of times too, some companies will actually combine both alcohol and food. So you can grab some food, get some alcohol, get it right to your hotel room door. You don't have to spend that much, and it's super convenient.